Hey everyone, a spirited drop from the back of a taxi on a rainy Monday afternoon. I'm heading home after a full day of sessions with clients, coaching, energy work, and just a beautiful day. And I was recently asked an interesting question that I thought some of you guys might be interested in as well. So I have a Chinese Singaporean client who's booked in for a mediumship session. Her husband sadly has recently passed. And she asked me that whether it can be too soon to have mediumship contact. And she mentioned that in her Chinese tradition, everyone keeps very still and lays very low for like 49 days after someone passes. And she wanted to know whether that was recognised in Western mediumship as well. And so I'll get to how I responded to her, but first of all, the 49 days. So in Chinese Buddhism and Taoism, the 49 days after someone passes is regarded as a very critical and also, sensitive time for the spirit of the person who's passed over, because they go into kind of like an in-between, a bardo, while they wait to be reincarnated. And so the way that the 49 days are observed is daily offerings at the family altar, so that the spirit feels that they've got nourishment and they've got a safe place to stay. There is burning of joss paper, so these are the paper effigies of money and clothes and sometimes designer cars, and so that the person in spirit has got the goods for their next life or wherever they end up in the spirit realm. And family members just keep on the lowdown, so there aren't big celebrations happening at that time. I think in some stricter families they don't cut their hair or cut their nails at that time, and all of these are beautiful age-old measures to respect that very sensitive time straight after someone passes. And in Western mediumship, that's not recognised. So there are some mediums that would say if someone's immediately passed over that you shouldn't try and open up contact. I've never stuck to that, and I think the soonest after someone's passing that I've done a mediumship contact has been a matter of about 2 weeks. And even if they're relatively recent, like a month or a couple of months, they've always come through. I've never had someone who's passed over relatively recently that hasn't come through. So I just don't think there's any rules on this, but of course I deeply respect that very beautiful Chinese Buddhist and Taoist 49 days custom. I think it's gorgeous, and I love the honouring and the remembering of the person that's passed over for 49 days too. That in itself is just beautiful, and a deep belief in the afterlife. All of that is gorgeous. So what I said to my client is that Western mediumship, we don't wait for any amount of time, but of course there's no guarantee that the person in spirit will come through, but that's true whether they passed 10 years ago or yesterday. But what I did say to her though is that it's also really super important that she feels comfortable and that she feels that she's honoured her loved one in spirit, and if she wants to wait 49 days, that's fine by me too. I don't have an issue with that. I want her to be fine in her grief process and be ready for contact. And that's another point that my teacher raised this morning. So I took this question to my development class, which is on Monday mornings, and I asked Christine Morgan just to reiterate what her take on it is. And the way she put it, as usual, was just gorgeous. She said, well, who are we to say no to the spirit realm? Like, if they want to come through, then we should, as mediums, we should open it up and give them a channel to come through. So it's not really up to us to say, no, we've got to wait for another 2 weeks before we're going to open up to contact. But the other point that she did make, which I think is equally as important, is that, sometimes mediumship contact is not the best thing to do when you're really in that very bitey, hard, edgy, immediate grief of losing someone. And it can be too disruptive. I mean, it's disruptive anyway, really, but when you get a really evidenced, amazing contact with someone in the spirit realm, and perhaps it alters what you perceived happens after death, so it is a very disruptive experience anyway, a very healing experience. But when you're really sort of in the depths of grief of a recent loss, it may not be the best experience either. And I thought that was really wise counsel from Christine, and I'll be gauging that when I meet with my client. I can't remember exactly when she's booked in, but I did put it back to her and say, honour your rituals, they're absolutely beautiful, and you let me know whether you want to come in or not, or whether you want to postpone. So we'll see how it goes. But I thought you'd find that really interesting, these beautiful rituals from different traditions around the world that honour the passing of loved ones. I think we could do more of it. Anyway, I'll leave that with you, everyone. Okay, bye.